The streets of Mumbai were always bustling with life, crowds moving in waves, cars honking incessantly, and the aroma of street food filling the air. Among the sea of people was Arav, a 22-year-old college student who had been struggling to make ends meet. Between attending lectures and working part-time at a bookstore, Arav barely had time for himself. He was determined to build a better future, but life had thrown its fair share of challenges at him. With his father's unexpected passing a few years ago, Arav had become the sole provider for his mother and younger sister. Every rupee mattered, every meal had to be carefully planned, and every day felt like an uphill battle. One evening, as Arav was rushing to catch a local train, he noticed an elderly man standing in the middle of the street, looking around anxiously. He held a crumpled piece of paper in his hand and seemed completely lost. The man was clearly a foreigner. His fair complexion and European features stood out in the crowd. He was wearing a casual button-up shirt and khaki pants, his face filled with worry. Arav hesitated for a moment. He was already running late, but something about the old man's distressed expression made him stop. With a deep breath, he walked up to him. "Excuse me, sir. Do you need any help?" Arav asked in fluent English. The man looked relieved. "Yes, young man. I seem to have lost my way. I was supposed to meet someone at a hotel, but I can't find it anywhere. My phone battery died, and I don't know whom to ask." Arav took the crumpled note from the man's trembling hands and read the address. It was a small boutique hotel located in a narrow alley, one that wasn't easy to find if someone wasn't familiar with the city. He knew he had two choices: ignore the situation and continue on his way, or help the old man and miss his train. With a sigh, he made his decision. "Come with me, sir. I'll take you there," Arav said with a reassuring smile. The elderly man's eyes lit up with gratitude. "Oh, that would be wonderful. My name is Mr. Harrison. I'm visiting from London. It's my first time in Mumbai, and I must admit, it's quite overwhelming." As they walked through the chaotic streets, dodging rickshaws and street vendors, Arav couldn't help but ask, "What brings you here, Mr. Harrison?" "Business, mainly. But I also have a personal reason. I once knew someone here a long time ago, and I wanted to see if I could find them again," the old man said wistfully. Arav nodded. He knew Mumbai had a way of connecting people, no matter how much time had passed. The journey to the hotel wasn't easy. The narrow alleyways, bustling crowds, and never-ending noise made it hard to navigate. Mr. Harrison, unused to the heat and humidity, wiped his forehead frequently. Arav noticed and quickly bought a bottle of water from a street vendor, handing it to the older man. "Oh, thank you, my boy. That's very kind of you," Mr. Harrison said, taking a long sip. They finally reached the hotel after nearly 30 minutes of walking. The old man turned to Arav with an appreciative smile. "I don't know what I would have done without you. You have no idea how much this means to me." Arav chuckled. "It's nothing really. I'm just happy you got here safely." As Mr. Harrison stepped into the hotel lobby, Arav turned to leave, but the old man stopped him. "Wait. I'd like to thank you properly. Can I buy you a meal, or perhaps give you a little something for your kindness?" Arav shook his head. "No, sir. I didn't help you for money. Just knowing I could assist someone is enough for me." Mr. Harrison looked at Arav thoughtfully. "Not many young people would say that. You have a good heart, my boy." With a warm handshake, Arav finally left, unaware that this small act of kindness would change his life forever. The next morning, Arav woke up to the same struggles: college assignments, part-time work, and the lingering worry of unpaid bills. He had almost forgotten about the old man he had helped the previous evening. Life had no pause button for someone like him. He had responsibilities to fulfill. As usual, he made his way to the bookstore where he worked. The shop was small, nestled between a chai stall and a clothing store, but it had been his second home for the past 2 years. The owner, Mr. Desai, was a kind-hearted man in his late 50s who had given Arav the job when he desperately needed one. "Arav Beta, you look tired. Late night studying again?" Mr. Desai asked with a knowing smile. Arav chuckled, placing a stack of books on the counter. "Something like that. Just trying to keep up with life." The day passed in the usual rhythm, sorting books, helping customers, and catching short breaks to review his college notes. Just as he was about to close the shop for the evening, a delivery boy walked in, holding a neatly sealed envelope. "Are you Arav Kapoor?" the boy asked. Arav frowned. "Yes, that's me." The boy handed him the envelope. "This is for you." The sender asked me to deliver it personally. Puzzled, Arav took the envelope and examined it. The paper was of high quality, and his name was written in elegant handwriting. There was no sender's name, only a hotel's address on the back. A strange feeling settled in his chest as he carefully opened it. Inside was a letter written in English. "Dear Arav, I cannot thank you enough for the kindness you showed me yesterday. In a city of millions, you were the only one who stopped to help. That says a lot about your character. I would love to meet you again. Please visit me at my hotel tomorrow at noon. I have something important to discuss with you. Looking forward to seeing you. Richard Harrison." Arav's heart raced as he reread the letter. Why did Mr. Harrison want to meet him again? And what could be so important? He debated whether he should go. He had classes in the morning, and skipping them wasn't an option. But at the same time, curiosity gnawed at him. The next morning, after much deliberation, he decided to attend his lectures first and then visit Mr. Harrison. By noon, he found himself standing outside the grand entrance of the hotel. As he walked in, the receptionist greeted him. Mr. Kapoor, Mr. Harrison is expecting you. Please follow me." Arav was taken to a private lounge, where Mr. Harrison sat with a warm smile. "Arav, I'm so glad you came," the old man said, motioning for him to sit. "It's good to see you again, sir. You mentioned something important in your letter?" Arav asked, his curiosity evident. Mr. Harrison leaned forward, his eyes twinkling. "Yes, my boy. I wanted to talk to you about your future." Arav's eyebrows furrowed in confusion. "My future?" he repeated, unsure of what Mr. Harrison meant. The elderly man nodded, taking a sip of his tea before speaking. "Yes, your future. Yesterday, when I met you, I saw something rare, a young man who didn't hesitate to help a stranger, even when his own circumstances weren't ideal." Arav felt a tinge of embarrassment. "It was nothing, sir. Anyone would have done the same." Mr. Harrison chuckled. "That's where you're wrong. I spent hours wandering the streets before you helped me. People walked past me, too busy in their own worlds. You, however, stopped and treated me with kindness. That is not nothing. That is extraordinary." Arav didn't know what to say. He had never thought of his small act as anything special. Mr. Harrison continued, his voice carrying weight. "Tell me about yourself, Arav. Your dreams, your struggles." Arav hesitated for a moment before answering. "I come from a middle-class family. My parents worked hard to send me to college, but ever since my father fell ill, things have been difficult. I study during the day and work part-time at a bookstore in the evenings. I dream of becoming a journalist, but sometimes it feels like an impossible goal." Mr. Harrison listened intently, nodding. "And yet, despite these challenges, you still stopped to help a lost old man. That speaks volumes about your character, Arav." Arav was taken aback. He wasn't used to being praised like this. Mr. Harrison leaned back in his chair. "I am not just a tourist, Arav. I am the founder of one of the largest media networks in the world, Harrison Global Media. And I believe in investing in people who have potential. That's why I called you here today." Arav's heart skipped a beat. "Wait, you're saying?" Mr. Harrison smiled. "Yes. I want to offer you a scholarship to complete your education. Fully funded. And, if you're interested, an internship at my company after you graduate." For a moment, Arav thought he had misheard. His mind raced, struggling to process what had just been said. A scholarship? An internship? But why me? "Because you deserve it," Mr. Harrison said firmly. "I have seen many talented individuals, but talent without kindness is meaningless. You have both. I want to give you an opportunity that you might not otherwise get." Arav sat there, stunned. Just a day ago, he was worried about how he would pay for his next semester. Now a stranger, no, a man he had helped, was offering him a future he had only dreamed of. but doubts crept in. Sir, I appreciate this more than I can express, but what if I fail? What if I disappoint you? Mr. Harrison's expression softened. Arav, failure is a part of life. But the real failure is not trying at all. You have everything it takes to succeed. All you need is someone to believe in you. Arav swallowed hard. He felt a lump in his throat. His entire life, he had fought battles alone, never expecting anyone to offer him a lifeline. And now, a man he had met by chance was giving him an opportunity that could change his entire future. I don't know what to say, Arav admitted, his voice shaky. Mr. Harrison smiled. Just say yes. Arav took a deep breath. He thought of his mother, his father, the nights he had spent worrying about money, the dreams he had almost given up on. Yes, he finally said, his voice filled with determination. Mr. Harrison clapped his hands together. Good. Then let's make it official. I will have my assistant handle the scholarship details, and you'll receive all the necessary documents soon. And once you graduate, a position at Harrison Global Media will be waiting for you. Arav still couldn't believe it. It felt like a dream. As they wrapped up their meeting, Mr. Harrison stood up and placed a hand on Arav's shoulder. You remind me of myself when I was your age. Hardworking, ambitious, and full of potential. The world needs more people like you, Arav. Never forget that. Arav felt a surge of emotions, gratitude, relief, hope. His life had taken a turn he never saw coming, all because of one act of kindness. As he left the hotel, the weight that had burdened him for years felt a little lighter. He wasn't just a struggling student anymore. He was a young man with a future. For the first time in years, Arav walked home with a sense of hope rather than worry. The letter he had received from Mr. Harrison had not just offered him financial support, it had given him something much more valuable, a belief in himself. However, despite the life-changing opportunity, Arav couldn't shake off a lingering sense of doubt. Would he really be able to keep up with the expectations? What if he wasn't as talented as Mr. Harrison believed? The next few weeks were filled with rapid changes. Arav officially received the Harrison Global Scholarship, covering his entire tuition and living expenses. The burden of working late nights to pay bills was lifted, allowing him to focus entirely on his studies. At first, adjusting to this new reality was difficult. He had spent so many years living in survival mode that it was hard to accept that things had finally changed. But as the days passed, Arav slowly embraced his new life. With financial worries out of the way, Arav threw himself into his academics like never before. He started excelling in his journalism courses, writing powerful essays that caught the attention of his professors. He also began to research Mr. Harrison's media empire, understanding the kind of journalism they practiced. Harrison Global Media wasn't just any news organization. It was known for its integrity, in-depth investigative pieces, and commitment to truth. If I'm going to work there one day, I need to be prepared, Arav told himself. Determined to make the most of this opportunity, he started attending journalism workshops, reaching out to industry professionals, and even working on an independent blog where he wrote about social issues in Mumbai. But the path wasn't entirely smooth. Not everyone was happy about Arav's sudden stroke of luck. Some classmates who had once sympathized with his struggles now looked at him differently. Whispers followed him in the hallways. He got lucky. Why did he get chosen? There are so many students who work hard. Must be nice to have a rich foreigner sponsor you. The words stung, but Arav reminded himself why he had been chosen. One day, a friend confronted him directly. Rahul, a fellow journalism student, scoffed as he said, "You do realize you didn't earn this, right? Some rich businessman just decided to give you a free pass." Arav clenched his fists but kept his voice calm. "I never asked for this opportunity, Rahul. I got it because I helped someone without expecting anything in return. And now, I'm working harder than ever to prove that I deserve it." Rahul rolled his eyes. "We'll see." This interaction made Arav realize something important. No matter how much success you achieve, there will always be people who doubt you. And so, he used their doubt as fuel to push himself further. Months passed, and Arav's transformation became evident. His professors praised his work, his blog gained a loyal readership, and he even had the opportunity to publish an article in a well-known newspaper, which caught the attention of Harrison Global Media. One evening, while reviewing his assignments, Arav received an email from Mr. Harrison's assistant. Subject: Exciting news from Mr. Harrison. Dear Arav, Mr. Harrison has been following your progress closely and is incredibly proud of your work. He would like to invite you to London for a 3-month internship at Harrison Global Media. This will allow you to gain hands-on experience before your official position begins. Please confirm your availability. Looking forward to seeing you soon. Best regards, Emma Carter, Executive Assistant to Richard Harrison. Arav stared at the screen in disbelief. This was it. The moment that confirmed that his life had truly changed. He wasn't just some struggling student anymore. He was on his way to becoming a journalist at one of the world's most prestigious media houses. And it had all started with one simple act of kindness. Arav stepped off the plane at Heathrow Airport, taking a deep breath of the crisp London air. It felt surreal. Just months ago, he had been struggling to afford basic necessities, and now he was here, about to start an internship with one of the biggest media companies in the world. A chauffeur holding a sign with his name greeted him at the airport. Arav smiled awkwardly. He had never been picked up like this before. As they drove through the city, he took in the sights of towering skyscrapers, historic buildings, and the iconic London Eye spinning slowly in the distance. His first day at Harrison Global Media was a whirlwind. The office was a sleek, modern skyscraper in the heart of London. Employees in crisp suits rushed past him, speaking in rapid English. Screens displayed breaking news from all around the world, and the energy of the newsroom was electric. Arav was assigned to a senior journalist who mentored him on investigative reporting. He was tasked with researching stories, fact-checking information, and even accompanying reporters on the field. It wasn't easy. The standards were incredibly high, and at times, Arav felt intimidated by the fast-paced environment. But he reminded himself of how far he had come. Every morning, he arrived early. Every night, he stayed late. He absorbed everything like a sponge. By the end of the 3-month internship, his mentor recommended him for a permanent position once he finished his studies. The struggling student from Mumbai was now on his way to becoming an international journalist. One evening, as Arav sat at his desk in the London office, he received an unexpected video call from Mr. Harrison. Arav, I just wanted to say how proud I am of you, Mr. Harrison said, smiling. You've proven that talent, hard work, and integrity can take a person anywhere. Arav felt the lump in his throat. Sir, I don't know how to thank you. If you hadn't helped me. Mr. Harrison raised a hand. Don't thank me. Thank yourself. You earned this opportunity. I just recognized your potential. Arav nodded, understanding the weight of those words. The biggest lesson he had learned was this. Backhand index pointing right, a single act of kindness can change a life. If he hadn't stopped that day to help a lost tourist, his life would have remained the same. He would still be struggling, still wondering what if. But he had chosen to act, and that one choice had altered his destiny forever. As Arav looked out at the glowing London skyline, he thought about all the people still struggling like he once had. How many of them were just one opportunity away from success? How many needed just a little kindness to change their lives? The world, he realized, was filled with endless possibilities, and sometimes, those possibilities revealed themselves in the most unexpected ways. So, to anyone listening to his story, he had one question. What small act of kindness could you do today that might change someone's life tomorrow?